Mr. Arun Jaitley, Union Finance Minister and top BJP leader. Mr. Arun Jaitley, good evening and thank you for joining us. A big panel, many questions. We've been talking about the whole issue of BJP versus whom. So, Mr. Jaitley, I'd like to start this off by asking you that first and foremost, what has been established since in many state elections since 2014 is that in a direct fight, the Congress is no match for the BJP. I'm talking about Maharashtra, Haryana, Jammu Kashmir, Jharkhand, right? Now Assam. With this obvious decline of the Congress, in your view, is there the room growing for a viable alternative template that does not involve the Congress to take on the BJP so that Indian politics doesn't become unipolar?
Well, I don't think politics can ever be unipolar because politics is like nature, it abhors vacuum. And therefore, you'll always have an alternative develop somewhere. But I think this discussion which has been going on in several newsrooms since the afternoon, that if the Congress is no match, will a confederation of regional parties be the alternative? Now, I've always believed that in a large country like India, which is the world's largest democracy, a national government has to have an anchor who has a national presence. The anchor of the alliance must be an anchor of a sizable size. The anchor could be 150 seats in parliament, 180 seats in parliament, but you can't have an anchor of an alliance which is barely in 2 digits. Now, if you look at the evolution of this so-called confederation of regional parties, we've had this experiment repeated several times. United Front was the last experiment. Before that, Mr. Chandrasekhar tried it. Before that, Chaudhry Charan Singh tried it. Then you rely on Congress for outside support. But this country's experience with such combinations has been a disastrous one. And therefore, I think from the point of view of governance, you should always have a major national party which is the anchor of an alliance, and keeping federal polity in mind, you have regional parties around this. Now, as far as the NDA is concerned, both during Mr. Vajpayee's period and now, we've consciously tried to keep as many regional parties as we can around us. Now, the problem with the Congress is, it has become so dynastic in character over the last few decades that the natural growth at the state level and in the center of alternative leaders outside the family is not taking place. Now, in a dynastic party, one of the key problems is that the strength of the party is coexistent with the strength of the current generation of the dynasty. So if you have tall leaders like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru or Mrs. Indira Gandhi, then a dynastic party would be strong at that given point of time. But if the current generation can't deliver, doesn't have that kind of caliber or appeal, then of course the whole party suffers and you have no other alternative to fall back to.
But that's the principal concern. So, Mr. Jaitley, you answered the question and actually aggravated my question, if I may use that word. Today, that's the issue. There is no anchor of a national coalition. And that makes the situation such that even when Mamata Banerjee, for example, when she was speaking to Times Now, she singled out Mulayam, Lalu, Nitish, Naveen Patnaik among those who she considered her friends. But going by your logic, even if Jayalalitha, Mulayam, Lalu, Nitish, Naveen Patnaik or the left come together, which is unlikely in the first place given the contradictions that they have, even that is not a national alternative because of its contradictions.
No.
So you do agree, Mr. Jaitley, that we are heading towards a phase of unipolarity in that sense?
May I give you another response?
Yes.
Each one of these parties has its own state-level agendas. Secondly, the NDA has consciously kept a large number of regional parties always around it because of our commitment to national politics. Secondly, how do you envisage a situation where Trinamool and left come together, DMK and ADMK come together?
No, we don't.
Mayawati and Mulayam Singh Yadav come together. Now, I don't think in Indian politics the Nitish Lalu coming together kind of a miracle is going to be replicated every now and then.
So that's a very cozy and comfortable situation for you. Navika as a follow-up. Yeah, Navika.
Mr. Arun Jaitley, Prime Minister Narendra Modi started his 2014 campaign with the Congress Mukt Bharat objective. Having done that and virtually achieved that, do you think that was the easy leg of your battle, the tougher battle of getting into regional satraps areas and southern states and other corners of India will be the tougher battle for the BJP?
Well, I think in 2008, I was in charge of the party at that time when we decided to go all out and form a government in Karnataka on our own strength. Nobody gave us a chance. But then Karnataka became an important gateway for the BJP to the south. Thereafter, despite various adversities of the Telangana agitation, I think along with the TDP, we succeeded in forming a government in Andhra Pradesh. Now, this was a major battle we had this time of contesting on our own strength and getting some 14.5 to 15% vote along with the regional group in Kerala. So we have effectively in this election laid the foundation of Kerala to transform from a bipolar politics to a tripolar politics.
But in Tamil Nadu, you were not successful.
No, I think it's very successful because from a party which used to get 2-3% vote in a bipolar politics, for a third player to find a space is extremely difficult. Once you are able to cross that 14-15% hump, then the seats start coming in.
I'm talking about Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, Mr. Jaitley. In Tamil Nadu, you've not succeeded.
Tamil Nadu, we didn't succeed because we didn't succeed in forging an alliance. I think Tamil Nadu is another case. But I think the geographical expansion of the BJP after Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala is an important milestone. West Bengal, along with our ally, to get about 11% votes is an important milestone. And to be able to form a government in Assam with an overwhelming majority and have governments in Arunachal and Meghalaya is a very important milestone. Please don't forget that today, this is the highest point in the history of the BJP. We have a majority in the Lok Sabha on our own. Along with our partners, we have 15 state governments which cover over 45% of India's population. The Congress today has state governments which cover about 7 to 8% of India's population. So the stark difference in the size of the two parties, it's a all-time high for us and an all-time low for them.
Did you hold back your ammunition in Bengal and Tamil Nadu, Mr. Jaitley? As in, you didn't go all out. Surely you didn't go all out.
You see,
and adding to Arnab's question, because you had your Rajya Sabha compulsions in mind?
Yeah, that's the implication, yeah.
You see, this is an assessment which is made. I think one has to keep in mind the distinction between a government-to-government relationship and a party-to-party relationship. As far as Government of India is concerned and the West Bengal or the Tamil Nadu governments are concerned, I think it's our duty to cooperate with each other because the mandate of governance is with both of us. India is a case of a shared sovereignty and therefore we have to cooperate. As far as parties are concerned, I think we have a strong ideological difference as far as the Trinamool is concerned, and politically I don't think it seems ever possible that we can ever do business together.
Yeah, I think we have a couple of follow-up questions coming in. Sabha wants to ask you something. Yes, go ahead, Sabha.
Congratulations, Mr. Jaitley. But my question again is linked to the Rajya Sabha. Given the fact that the Congress is in complete free fall, do you think that the mood, the next time Parliament meets, the mood will be different? Mamta will be so furious by the fact that the Congress and left got together. Jayalalitha has many agendas. So do you expect real politics to be behind you getting an easier ride in the Rajya Sabha?
You see, let's first of all not undermine the inherent strength of Indian politics in the course of these discussions. As far as the present government is concerned, we've introduced 96 plus 5 in the two houses of Parliament. So far, we've got through 101 legislations. In the last session of Parliament, that's from February onwards till May, we got 24 legislations through. ultimately the inherent strength of India's democracy is that some legislations are delayed, but at the end of the day, since 1991, not a single reformed legislation has had to be abandoned permanently. Now the only one which is struck up after passage of a large number of others is the GST. And I think your question, Sabha, directly relates to what happens to the GST.
Right.
GST originally was a bill authored by the Congress. If I make one change which I have offered to them, then what is left is identical to what the Congress had approved. And therefore, to abandon a bill that they themselves has drafted is not responsible politics. In any case, if they choose to do so, let it be put to vote. Every regional party which controls the state government knows that they will benefit from the GST. So whether it is the Samajwadi or the BSP or the JDU or the RJD or the Trinamool Congress or the Biju Janata Dal or the TRS for that matter, the NCP, all allies of the UPA, some of them, and most regional parties are all in support of the GST. So the only way it can be passed in the next session is that the Congress party yields and we pass the GST, and if it doesn't, I think then the only other option is the parliamentary process. Let the House decide.
Yeah, Sanjay Pinto wants to ask you one thing, but just one quick thing before Sanjay. You know, I'm also always intrigued about the relationship between the BJP and the Gandhis. Mr. Jaitley, you know, the best way to have them collapse on the basis of their own contradictions is to ignore them. But now that in a very motivated way, the BJP goes after the Gandhis, you're actually building them up. Some people suspect you're building them up because Rahul is your best asset. If Rahul goes away and a more constructive leadership takes over the Congress party, then will be trouble for the BJP. So you're doing everything to keep Rahul there. Is that correct?
Well, I think that's not a problem that we've created for the Congress party. We don't have a choice in creating the leader. That's a trap that the Congress party has really set for itself. When a party transforms itself from a structured political party to a crowd around the family, then the inevitable consequence of that is that the family, because if its strength and appeal is lacking, can become a liability on the party. Without the family, the crowd itself would disintegrate. And therefore, it's for the Congress party to decide whether they want to transform themselves into a structured political party or merely into a dynastic association.
Well, there's always a third option, Mr. Jaitley, which you've forgotten. And that is the party can simply put blinkers on, which is what they seem to be doing now for some time. Well, I think we've taken... Yes. Go on.
If I had to fathom a guess, I think that's probably what would happen. Because if you've seen the statement since morning, well, you can logically rationalize. You can say that it was an anti-incumbency against the Kerala government. In Tamil Nadu, we were never so strong. In West Bengal, we were never so strong. It was a three-time government in Assam. There was an anti-incumbency. They could rationalize that. But leader after leader came in and said, it is not the fault of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Now, if you are in the business of issuing certificates, you are being pushed to a defensive demeanor.
Well, I have, okay, we take two more minutes.
The other question to you is about the deadly alliance between the left and the Congress party. Do you think the left has completely dissipated itself in West Bengal because of its alliance with the Congress party?
Well, I think to answer that question, I'll have to look at what's happened ideologically to the left world over. The political and economic model, which originally the left world over used to perceive, I think has been rejected globally. After the collapse of the political system in the erstwhile Soviet Union, after the rejection of that economic philosophy in China, they had to abandon it in order to grow. I think those old ideas became obsolete. Now, as far as India is concerned, there is a geographical presence, Tripura, Kerala, partly in West Bengal, and more so in the faculties of the Jadavpur and the Jawaharlal Nehru University. Now, this is the geographical spread of the left as far as India is concerned. Now, I think the left has to realize that that ideological politics which has been rejected all over the world really has no space today. And therefore, the Congress party, I think, made a fatal mistake as a part of the Rahul Gandhi, Sitaram Yechuri Banhomi, that they acted first and thought later. So, landing up in Jawaharlal University, where slogans of disintegration of the country were being raised, that is not the politics of a natural party of governance. That's the politics of a fringe group. And therefore, the Congress has to decide, after losing the 2014 election, whether it had to behave like a natural party of governance, mature itself, or take obstructionist or fringe positions. I think the Congress chose the later course, which was probably
Mr. Jaitley,
something which has proved
to large extent one agrees,
counterproductive.
but I'm not sure who made the mistake, whether it was left to ally with the Congress or the Congress to ally with the left. Many people believe it was the left's fatal error to ally with the Congress because the Congress is on a suicidal path right now. I thank you very much for giving us your time and your perspective, and congratulations on a great performance in these elections. Arun Jaitley, thank you very much. Thank you.